You're on the line with PsychLyne.
Hi, I'm Rico. I'm the chaotic one.
And I'm Akci, the mom of the group.
And today we'll be discussing student mental health
Versus academic performance. Alright, but first things first, gusto lang po namin i-clarify na we don't give advice as professionals po. Hindi po kami mga professionals. We are students. And okay, let's not use the word advice anymore. So insight based on our personal experiences and knowledge thus far. Remind ko lang po, we are students and we are not eligible to give professional advice.
And if you do want sound clinical advice, stop looking through podcasts first of all and start going to therapy or even your nearest guidance counselor. Or at least that's my recommendation.
So, formalities aside, Rico, how was your last semester?
Okay, should I answer that honestly?
Yes,
or...
you should. Yes, you should.
Well, two things. I didn't do as well as I initially expected, but I improved near the tail end of the first sem, which is good. Yes, improvement.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
How about you?
Oh my gosh, I was really stressed. Don't ask why. Basta na-stress lang ako. It was harder than I thought.
Na-stress ka? Well, because of... wait, I'm not supposed to ask
Yeah,
why.
you're not supposed to ask.
I'm sorry. But that just puts into context for me. The stress could be because of potential failing grades, which I had excessive amounts of.
I think you're not the only one though.
For the uno ang person, yung habol.
I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say it's like very big deal na sa atin yung mga grades because it's not like high school, no? It's an entire parang different level of difficulty na college.
It is. And sometimes with that difficulty and people that weren't able to cope up with the huge amount of tasks, they tend to stray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They codigo, maybe cheating. I have my own reasons rin because I am an ex or I used to cheat on my exams.
Oh, you're an ex-convict.
I'm an ex-convict.
Ex-convict.
Exactly. How about you? Did you ever cheat?
Oh my gosh, this is a podcast, but yeah, I
Okay,
did.
you did
noong
cheat.
high school. We had this bad genius moments sa klase namin noon, but I'm not going to dive into the details, you know.
What I'm trying to get at here is our reasonings for cheating. For me, just to start the ball and get a conversation going, I used to cheat because of that expectation for more grades versus what I'm learning exactly as a person and trying to internalize things, you know. How about you guys? Well, if you could tell.
If I could. Well, I think I can speak about it now because it happened like 5 years ago, something. Parang we used to do group tests as a class. Like, may naka-assign na magre-review for this subject so that the rest the rest of us won't have to. It saved us a lot of time and energy, but then, this and that, never mind.
God, I sure do hope our podcast doesn't get torn down on the first episode because some of their hosts admitted to cheating. But this is just to put into perspective
Yes.
that even though I'm a psych student and that I'm like the first batch, I have a spotty history and that even I struggled with things like this. I don't think you struggle.
Oh, I do. Kung makikita niyo ako in person, you would realize, oh my gosh, that person is so stressed.
At least we got that cleared up and aired out. Cheating aside, why do we not value that learning aspect, you think? Why did we resort back to cheating?
Parang, I think, this is my personal opinion. Kasi, some, not most of us, yung identity kasi natin naka-revolve around our academics, no? Pag mababa yung grades natin, we feel like napakaliit natin eh. We feel like we are, parang, anong tawag dito? We are so small, ganon.
Yes, I feel so attacked right now.
I'm sure you're not the only one. Sakit? Ay,
Yeah, kind of. Slightly. I say this for more of the comedic effect. I used to feel very hurt when it came to getting low scores.
Aw.
It still does naman to an extent.
Mm-mm.
However, I don't cheat anymore.
That's good.
I'm reviewing more than versus experimenting on ways to cheat or do shortcuts, because at the end of the day, it's just a reflection of my efforts. If I do good, it feels better. If I do bad, that means I didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, mas fulfilling yung nag-review ka, kaya ka nakakuha ng mataas na score, right? Tsaka, the goal is to learn, guys. So, for example, especially yung mga may board exams, like, paano mo iha-handle yung pressure soon if you don't start preparing yourself now,
That's a
right?
very good point. Very good point. Some people were just born with a silver spoon eh. Like, spoon-fed lahat ng mga magagandang grades. Things were easy for them. Now, things are getting harder.
Yeah.
I can say with confidence, I was one of those people. So, okay, I just got word from my technical director that I strayed way too far away from the mic and I was disappearing into the void. Anyways, one of the reasons why I became academic cheater in the first place is because I felt very incompetent even at times where I did review but I got a low score. I didn't know how to cope with it. So, I cheated some more until everything rounded out to an average. How about you? What's your perspective on this?
On cheating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad. Di ba alam naman natin na it's bad, pero sometimes kasi there's this, nobody's perfect. Okay, nobody's perfect. Napupush ka na lang talaga to do things when like you're in a situation na parang you can't manage your time well and that life is falling apart here and there, so you get to the extremes. And that's life. It happens, okay? Hindi natin i-deny yun. That happens. Nobody's perfect. But what's important is that one day marirealize natin na, oh, that's wrong and it should be addressed in another way, in the proper way, I should say. Like reviewing instead of cheating, ganon.
Now that we've hammered down the fact that cheating is bad, we shouldn't do it. The alternative, learning. The benefits, long term, you become better as a person, and that discipline that you gain over the years of learning things and then properly understanding it, it gives you the tools in order to do bigger tasks and such.
Yeah.
I feel like that's being underplayed a lot. What do you think about it?
Oo, kasi compared to cheating, yung glory short lang eh. For that certain specific period of time lang. Pero pag kasi learning, yeah, it's really a long-term investment, right? So,
That I think one of another key pressure point that keeps getting pinned onto young impressionable children early on is because that whenever people do get good grades, they get recognition from their parents, things like that. And then the moment that they do something bad, it gets pulled away from them. So instead of being guided, I guess, to do the hard things, because no one really wants to do hard stuff. It's
yeah.
because it's hard, obviously.
Oo.
They do shortcuts. I think I mentioned this a bit earlier. The shortcut taking, but more of the reasons behind it is the stigma that we have. If you have good grades, you're probably a good person. If you have bad grades,
You're probably a bad person.
yeah.
That's not entirely correct. That's not wrong either, right?
Because grades are supposed to be a metric. Back in way back when people didn't know how to cheat, it was a metric to measure how competent you were at learning the subject topic. And if you didn't get good grades, it wasn't like immediate sign that, well, yeah, it kind of is. But it was more of they're having a hard time with it and they're not a bad person. It's just that they don't jive with the topic or it's not their forte. Now it's become, here, I'm being so sensitive with it. I'm walking on eggshells. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
It's really hard.
That's the downside, no? Pag yung identity mo talaga, sobrang nililin mo dun sa academic performance mo, one day it will eat you up. That happened to me actually. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I'm not
here we
about to
go.
share a very personal story, but
Oh,
okay, for
yeah.
the sake of everyone, I think ready na ako mag-open up about my past experience. So,
Slay, madam.
I had this year in my life wherein I took a gap year actually. So, I'm supposed to be second year na, but yeah, things
Ate.
happen. No, I'm not your ate kasi like, magka-age pa rin tayo. Sorry. Anyway, yun. So, that happened to me. Parang, I was this person nga sobrang nag-crave ng academic validation to the point na sobrang nakain ako na parang I fell down a hole and I wasn't able to get out of it. But I'm thankful na I had my support system. I went through therapy twice and lots of things. And as that person na dumaan doon, I just would like to remind everyone na please do not associate your self-worth with your academic performance because it will really eat you up. I promise.
I feel like we got an amazing chemistry right now because you had the experience of being too into learning or basing yourself on the grades aspect. I'm the complete opposite. I disconnected from that BS long ago.
OMG. The universe brought us together for a reason.
That aside, the reason why I'm saying I'm the complete opposite is because I was the other side of the spectrum where I was unmotivated, unwilling to go through that hardship, and I didn't want to associate that grade aspect as part of me. I completely disregarded it for a long time and said, oh, okay, I got this, everyone else has this. Or, oh, I got low, so I don't give two about it. I got high, it doesn't matter because I wasn't proud of what I was doing. The unmotivation stemming from... Because early on, I used to associate learning as the lowest form of intelligence, part of the memorization aspect. Just regurgitating the information as you take it. And then once it's done, you forget it forever and you never use it. Have you ever tried or have you ever done that? The moment the test is over, everything you've learned up to that point, gone.
Actually, there was a time in my life na pagkadating ko sa bahay, hindi ko na maalala yung lesson na pinakinggan ko just an hour ago, and that's very alarming, you know.
It really is. But again, that was part of, not, I wouldn't say sakit. But it was part of my growing issue before. And then it got emphasized a lot during the pandemic because I wasn't forced to go to the academic setting. I wasn't forced to listen to people that I didn't find interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's part of it.
And, I don't know, suddenly, naalala ko yung sinabi ng therapist ko sa akin nung nag-open up ako sa kanya regarding my issue with my grade. Ang sabi niya, kasi di ba problemado din ako nun, especially nung pandemic kasi, sabi niya,
Exactly.
you are a young adult and parang very, very need daw natin yung parang social interaction, ganon. As young adults, it's part of what we need for us to fully develop into, alam mo yun, full-blown adults. And parang na ano kasi natanggal siya. So parang na, what's the term? What's her term? Parang na-impair yung growth natin. That's why we're still feeling it. Especially right now, na first year of face-to-face natin dito sa MMSU, we're still feeling the backlash of the 2 years na online classes because it's really different.
Quick light segment. That the fact that it's again face-to-face. I have to say, I'm really enjoying my time with the whole first year, first batch, first everything, first time doing this, first time seeing new faces. I love that.
Yeah.
It invigorated me a lot. I like my classmates a lot too. They're very fun to be with. How about you?
Oh yes, I surely love being a part of the BS Psych program because like I have very, very cool classmates, you know.
Oh shit. Cool.
JC is doing a stunt.
Besides that, since we were talking about psychology and about the therapist, is it okay if I go a bit personal with the questions?
I think that's fine. Okay, we're here to share our insight, okay, regarding our personal experience. Okay, so this is for you guys. Okay, I'm doing this for you.
I'm just curious, how effective exactly was the therapy session?
Oh, very, very effective. Pero it's real na yung sinabi nila na therapy won't be effective. Sorry.
Yeah.
Effective if you're not willing to help yourself then.
Oh.
Because like it's a two-person race. You and your therapist. Let's make it 3 kasi including your support system.
Okay.
Like, diba it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to heal one. Yes.
Well, sometimes it can sound very obvious, the things that we're saying, but we have to put it into perspective that through experience, we now realize the value of the words that we're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to put a bigger emphasis on that self-willingness to do something, to give yourself that answer, that push.
Yes.
Because once you realize that you have a problem, it was your first instinct to ask for help.
Parang no. My first instinct was how I was going to solve it. Pero parang I don't know, I was just so drained and everything, and I realized I needed help.
Okay, so you were pushed to your
Yes.
very limits.
I was pushed to my very limits.
Oh my god. And we're like what? Young adults, as said by your therapist, we're very impressionable. We have a lot of ideas. There are a lot of things hitting us. One of these factors are academic performance. And once it gets to us, boy, does it just rip and tear.
Yeah. Because parang I went to therapy that time because I stopped doing my schoolworks for like 6 months.
Yo, bestie, that's me! That's me!
For real, I legit stopped doing my schoolworks for 6 months because I just felt so unmotivated. Like, I wake up and I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to brush my teeth or
There
something.
you go. We can relate on that. Like, whew, sister. No, okay, besides that, it was because, for me at least, to give myself a perspective, I stopped working because I saw it as repetitive and I didn't see it as a chance to grow. That was me already putting a negative label on my tasks. How about you?
I just really didn't have the energy. As in, if you hand me a module noon, I would cry.
Oh God, was that serious?
It was that serious. It was that worse that my whole family, my whole set of friends were really, really worried for me. And that's why we're going to talk about
Unmotivated behavior. I know I kind of started off a little bit there with my personal reasons, but I'm now going to cite out some reasons listed out by Carnegie Mellon University. Reasons why students lack interest or motivation. 1. Students see little value in the course or its content. So just from that, I have something that's ringing in my head, like very loud. Math. Have you not to bog down on any math majors or anything, but I couldn't see the value of math until recently. How about you?
as someone whose favorite subject is math, I feel offended.
Whoa, whoops! God, wait, are you serious?
Yes, math is my favorite subject actually. Really.
Okay, so it was really meant to be that we were supposed to be paired up today.
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear your reasons why you saw value in the course or in math.
I don't know. It's just, actually, hindi ko alam. OMG, as a math lover myself, I think I just love math.
The process.
Yes.
You like understanding it.
Mm-hmm.
You never questioned when I'll use this in the real world.
No, kasi parang nagagamit naman natin siya talaga everyday. Like, my mom kasi, she likes doing arithmetic in the kitchen. So, yeah.
She likes doing who's a what's a what?
Yeah, so parang we kind of like grew up with it, you know? So, yun.
Oh, okay. I see. Next reason. Students do not believe that their efforts will improve their performance. So, just to expand a bit further with my experience, the fact that even if I tried and then I failed once, that would completely derail my motivation
Yeah.
because it wasn't working. Obviously, it's what I thought at the time. So I just stopped putting in effort because it was easier to relax and cheat than, put in the hard work.
Mm-mm.
Okay, next reason. Students are demotivated by the structure and allocation of rewards.
Ooh,
Were you ever
rewards.
rewarded during, like, when you get good scores?
Actually, no.
Huh?
Oo. Parang, yeah. Parang what JC said, na parang it's kind of expected of you. Parang ganun. Parang the reward is,
You are good.
Yeah.
You get
you
validated.
get validated. Yun. Pero some kids kasi, they grow up in a manner na parang may rewards, right? Pag,
Yeah.
you get a high score, okay, let's go to Jollibee or
Ah.
even in other terms. Pero iba-iba tayo, right? Because like, there are kids who grew up na walang rewards. There are those naman na may rewards. There are
And
those na
They-
over.
Sobra.
Oo.
Yeah, on the first option, sometimes the parents really can't afford a reward.
Mm-mm.
I've been lucky enough to grow up in a household that was able to support me at some of my wants.
Mm-mm.
I don't know yung true struggle of the parents having to work nail and teeth in order to even just give the basic education in the first
Yeah.
place. So I have no say there, but I want to just shine a quick light there. That is also an issue that can affect our mental states.
Yes. Yung social status, no?
So sometimes they really can't be given a reward. Do you want to move on to the next reason?
Yes.
Students do not perceive the classroom climate as supportive. Classroom climate?
Parang these students usually, parang they feel left out eh. Parang,
That sort of class. Oh,
Oo.
okay. Wait, keep going.
kasi there are students na unique. Yung learning processes nila, yung the way they absorb information. And sometimes, hindi kasi nakikater yun,
Yung
the
style.
way they learn,
Mhm.
it's for them. So, yun, nahihirapan silang mag-absorb by themselves. So like, okay, yung motivation nila, bumababa, ganon.
I guess that's part of the issue of having the standardized curriculum based off of grades, and the way they're doing it is through tests. Sometimes it's multiple choice.
Mm-mm.
And then things just become a guessing game of how much I can guess in order to pass. Versus, I'm learning because this is my style. This is how I want it to be.
But a big shout out to our instructors and professors in MMSU though for being very flexible in teaching. Kasi, like, ine-encourage nila, no?
They
Sino dito
do.
yung mga ganito, ganyan, ganon.
But-
they ask questions,
Yeah.
tapos they try to meet all of us. Right?
We have to put into perspective, our teachers are, some of them are they're psychologists, right?
Yes.
So they have an understanding
Oo.
of at least the base developmental psychology
Oo.
aspect.
And that every child is different and they learn differently.
Next one. Students have other priorities that compete for their time and attention.
Oh yes, this is very true, especially sa mga kagaya ko dyan na ang daming household chores. Like, instead of doing your homework or something, may kailangan kang gawin, kailangan mo maghugas.
God.
Like, ang daming nakatambak doon na unwashed plates and all. Kailangan mong maglinis, kailangan mong maglaba. And guys, for those na walang household chores, I tell you, it's so tiring.
Hey, can you guess which one of us doesn't have that sort of issue? Me! I was blessed. Again, like, so blessed. even during the
Sana
pandemic,
all.
I had no worries with other things coming in my way. But I was such a privileged that I didn't appreciate it.
Yes, you are. And dear listeners, sabay-sabay tayong magsabi ng sana all.
Hey, I'm not the only one. I swear. I think so. But there were other things that I prioritized above studying. It was my entertainment, my enjoyment. So I dabbled in. Everyone just plays games. I play games. I love playing games. It makes me feel good whenever I master a certain aspect. That's learning. How, the thing that mind boggles me a lot when I compare myself now and to when I was, or how I was before, is that I was still learning. Just in the wrong aspect. I was putting my efforts in learning combos or strikes in certain characters' movesets and learning when to do certain tasks when I could have done it in school. I had the
Yeah.
capabilities.
Oo.
But yeah, sometimes I just prioritize the visual or just my immediate entertainment of playing games.
Tsaka regarding that, di ba palagi nilang sinasabi na, manage your time wisely kasi. I used to deny that, like, excuse me? Not everyone can afford a very lenient schedule, no? So, huwag yung kaming manage your time dyan. Pero, thinking of it, like, it's very, practical na advice, right? You really need to learn how to manage your time wisely. Like, considering the fact na, okay, iba-iba tayo ng households, iba-iba tayo ng social status and whatnot. So, you have to look at your cards and think kung paano mo i-deal yung situation mo.
Yeah.
Right?
But I still, because I think I've heard, or at least there are similar statements like that before. And even up till now, it's really hard to explain it in words. It's almost like an awakening of sorts for
Yeah.
some people.
Oo.
Because for me, one day, I just said, enough. I don't like this anymore. I'm tired of giving myself excuses, not giving myself chances to improve, just stopping myself. Why am I not doing these things in the first place? So, instead of people having to shout it in my face, just one day, I was fed up with the situation and I started to change slowly. So now, instead of being, I'll manage my time, yung in a sort of sense of, I'm saying it but not doing it. Now I'm actually genuinely thinking of how much free time do I have? How much free time can I allocate to advanced reading? How much time do I want to spend for myself? Things like that. And just what helped me a lot was having a routine.
Oh, yes.
Hashtag, saan yung mga gym rats ko dyan? Physical work,
Sana all.
healthy body, healthy mind. We preach. Pero yeah, but that one is a serious thing that helped me personally to have that routine and have the discipline.
Yes. So, it still boils down to the fact na you need to manage your time wisely. So,
Yup.
ibabalik po namin ang advice na iyon.
Yes, sir.
Manage your time wisely.
No rush though, because we all grow at different paces.
Yes.
There's this topic that I reported in during the first sem. It was about self-care, and then I don't know the other. I can't remember the specific term for the other one, but self-efficacy, I think, or it boils down to having to take care of yourself, knowing when to give yourself rewards, and then the other half being understanding that you make mistakes and that you should learn to accept those as part of you and not shun it as imperfections, but
Yes.
your attempts to be a better person.
That's correct.
Now, moving on to the final.
Individual students may suffer from physical, mental, or other personal problems that affect motivation. So, ito na nga ba yung sinasabi namin?
That one's an underlying one that I cannot express or at least have experience with. I have nothing to say about that one.
Oo. Kasi especially nung pandemic, parang very raira yung stigma na may mga some people do not recognize mental health as a real thing. Pag depressed yung bata, sasabihin,
Nasa utak mo lang yan.
nasa utak mo lang yan. Huwag ka na maging sad. The sadness
Stop
leaving my
being
body.
sad. The best advice I could ever hear from this podcast. Just stop being sad.
Guys, disclaimer ha, please po sa mga may kakilala na dumadaan sa may mental health problems, please do not invalidate them. Huwag niyong sabihin, nasa utak mo lang yan. Or huwag mong sabihin, huwag mo kasi isipin. Or huwag ka kasi maging sad. It's not that easy, okay? Believe me, they have tried everything in their power.
But then again, just stating from, or call back to what you said earlier, the therapy solution, it involves 3 aspects. And if nakukulangan sila sa isa, maybe yun yung nagpapahirap. So, if they tried their best, so maybe it's one of the two. Or maybe they still haven't tried their peak best because they aren't enabled because of certain other factors.
Oo. And it really starts there, no? Yung willingness talaga to help yourself din. And guys, let us not encourage the stigma about mental health anymore. So, if you feel like you need help, mag-seek kayo ng professional help para mag-therapy, ganon. Because,
well, you have, just give me a sec here. Listen for a bit. I'm sorry I cut you off there, but I have to say, it's not that easy because, okay, personalan na ulit. That going out and telling your problems to someone else is, for me, was very difficult, and I'm still struggling with it now. But like, what was I going for? It's just not that easy. That's what I want to say. Just going out, even though you know the solution, it takes a lot of self-courage.
tsaka therapy
And
is
also,
very expensive.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
But there are alternatives, right? For example, dun sa university natin, we have our counselors, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we do. And also another amazing and I think highly rated way for self-therapy is having your pets. Like, we can't understate their value. Their unconditioning love sometimes just picks us up from that dump, you know? Okay, we're back. Sorry, but now we are on the segment of
The Kumusta Ka messages. Alam kong ito yung pinakahihintay ng lahat. So let's go ahead and read the first one. Ang sabi dito, matmatay na kon for real.
For real.
I'm so sorry for laughing.
This is very I don't know how to take this one. If we should take it seriously
Ako din.
or
Well, like, what am I supposed to say? Same? Ganon.
yeah. At the same time, kind of same, like low-key. Pero that's for different reasons probably than the other person. Just, kaya mo yan, or kakayanin mo yan, and just keep pushing. Yun lang masabi ko, I guess.
Take breaks, be. Kaya natin to, okay?
Next entry. Hello, you were the first to ask this year, how am I? And now that you asked, I feel refreshed, energized, and I felt free from the negativity and sorrow that has been accumulated inside my system. Endless workloads and other personal stuffs. I'm more driven and hopeful today, and thank you for asking. Wow, that caught me off guard as I was reading it. That made me stutter a few. That really warms my heart. I thought that we wouldn't have an impact until later on.
Dito talaga nagsho-show, no, na may difference na nagagawa yung kahit mag-ask ka lang. If you sense na your friend is not okay, just by asking them how they are is such a big thing already. Like, it shows na you care. To which we really do. We care, guys. We care. So, please, Vent out, speak up, ganon.
We're always here because you're on the line with PsychLyne. Okay, next on our entry.
This person says, when I entered uni, sinabi ko na sa sarili ko na bawal mag-expect kasi maraming competition sa college and as long as pasado, okay na. Pero nung lumabas na grades sa portal, may 2.0 akong grade. Nakakaiyak. I know I did my very best, tas ginanon lang. Crying emoji. Good luck sa second sem na lang siguro. Oh my gosh, Rico, what can you say about that?
There's a lot to unpack there. First of all, if grades are your way or the numbers you see are the ways that you validate yourself, there's already a massive issue. For me, this isn't an advice, pero my analysis of how I would tackle it. Instead, I would see, okay, recognize yourself. How much effort did I put in to the work that I've done? If you can tell that you've done a lot, then I can be proud of myself. And I know we have to get real here. Sometimes even if we do try our best, we won't always get what we want constantly. Yep. That's the sad truth. And how to counteract that is we look on the brighter side of things. You got 2, but nakapasa ka, 'di ba?
Yes.
You have to validate yourself as well. Recognize what you've done right. And instead of wallowing in sorrow, take a few steps back, see where you've gone wrong, and then try even harder to become an even better person. Not to see a better number, but so that you can grow and be proud of yourself. Okay? Next on our entry naman, this person says, I get so sensitive over the little things so easily that I don't even recognize na nasasaktan ko na pala yung mga people around me. Sad emoji. What do I do?
Oh, what do I do now?
So, for this person, I have to say that I have to congratulate you first. You recognize that you are sensitive over little things and that your friends or the people around you, I should say, were able to tell you that nasasaktan sila or you were able to read the room and see that you hurt someone. What's good here is that you're seeing the problems now. As for the solutions, again, this isn't professional advice, I have to say first off, but you have to be more mindful of things. That's the most basic concept. And now, something that I would like this person to apply is that before you do absolutely anything, think about what could happen or what the reaction could be. Let's say that you were metaphorically talking to yourself, and then you do what you think you will do, which is become sensitive, so maybe overreact or underreact to some things. I'm sorry if I'm not getting quite the gist of it, but what I'm trying to say is that if you, the receiver, become subject to that sensitive person and they have to witness that and have to fix or at least try and adjust for you, it becomes uncomfortable for them. So in order to maintain that sort of or to sustain a relationship, what I can recommend most is that you sacrifice a bit of your sensitivity, a bit of your skin, be out of your comfort zone and try and accept some things that otherwise would trigger you, I guess. So what I'm trying to say, again, practice mindfulness, and if you really want to, you will be able to succeed as long as you put in the proper effort and consideration. Okay? The next entry.
This person says, I'm continuously burnt out, yet still trying my best to function well. Hopefully, not expecting a massive breakdown by the end of the month. Whichever way, kakayanin. Go beyond plus ultra. Sabi niya.
I love that anime quote so much. Do you want to take this one?
Alright. So first things first, dear, you know what? You need to give yourself a break. As you've said, you're already parang burnt out. And yes, I know na you're trying your best to function, and that's good. We commend you on that. But ang masasabi ko lang is that you need to realize how important it is also to take things slow and have some rest. Because rest is essential.
So in response to what Aki just said, I just have to say, not only do I respect this person a lot, just over the fact that they admit that they might be burnt out and they're at risk of potential breakdown or a massive breakdown, but they still end off on a high note saying that they will do kakayanin nila. They will do their absolute
That's
best.
the attitude.
I love that. But before you go any further, or we go any further, I just want to emphasize that mindset can be the key to unlocking a lot of things. It's one of the things that I'm doing right now, so I'm sort of projecting, again, not proper clinical advice, but like, these are just my experiences, and I'd like to advocate do what you do to the best of your abilities and be proud of it.
But again, rest is essential, okay? If you forget about that, just bear in mind na bakit natutulog yung tao. Yan. Because rest is essential, okay?
Now, next entry. This person says, nursing sure is hard, and it makes me realize how memorization can only get you so far. I've also been dealing with insecurities a lot lately, like I'm not enough.
I really have to agree with what you said na nursing is hard. Like, OMG, CHS people, paano nyo nakakaya yun? And about the memorization part, I think it's really essential sa journey ninyo kasi you're dealing with names and chronological processes na you can't mess it up. So, yes, it is indeed true na memorization can only get you so far. And according sa personal experience ko I learn better kapag I do practice tests. So like, I recommend you to do the same. Like, take it a step further. Like, instead of just memorizing it, parang you try to do the situational tests, ganon. Like, find an avenue where you can apply what you are memorizing. Kasi memorization, that's already a part na hindi mo ma-erase sa journey mo. It's really, really important kasi ang dami mong i-memorize and it's all very important stuff. Rico, would you like to address the thing with insecurities?
Maybe. At the same time, I feel like this is going to be a harsh take. Whenever I've had an insecurity, I wallowed a bit too much on it. But the answer that I found that worked for me was ask myself the hard questions. Why exactly am I insecure about this aspect of myself? And then with that, I tried to find solutions over the internet, and I've tried asking people for help to get better contextualization with my situation. But I know it's very difficult, to be real. But if people want to improve, and if people have that drive, I'm willing to bet that these things that I'm saying will at least help in their journey to realize that these parts of me are still me. You know, I can control it. And the moment you understand that you have control over things about you, that power will help you become a better person. Or at least I hope.
Yeah, tsaka everything starts with acceptance. Like, for me, when I'm having one of those days na parang sobrang down ko din because like, ang dami kong insecurities and whatnot, parang I let myself wallow in pity. Yeah, I do that. But after that, certain time period, parang nare-realize ko nga, oh, I'm this and that. And I love myself. Parang, you just need to accept who you are because it begins there. The magic begins with acceptance. That's you. You are beautiful. You are made that way. That is you. And if you don't like who or what you are, then there is always the option of changing.
Here,
right?
here. I love that message.
So, yun lang po. And let's move on to the next message. This person says, okay lang, May 2 pero at least pasado. Engineering things with the
Love
emoji.
that energy. Again, that push mentality.
Yes, indeed. It's the attitude for me.
Love it so much.
And guys, engineering is really hard, you know. I have an ate, not really my biological sister, but an ate. Ang sabi niya, pag graduation daw, yung mga engineering students, kahit hindi Latin honors, pag sila na yung natatawag, lahat standing ovation, and that's how people recognize how hard it is to graduate engineering. So, yes, indeed, be proud na pasado ka. Alright?
That's really good.
And we congratulate you for that. And we're down to the last entry. Parang this entry was more of an advice, but we're still going to read it anyway. So this person says, my grades were A-okay. Grades were never a problem with me. Average and mataas-taas naman na ang grades na natatanggap ko. But what gives me the ick is yung mga lower years from my program or any other students. Parang masyadong nadidisappoint sa grades nila. Kaya I'm here to tell you guys na grades don't define you completely. Yes, sometimes you get a high grade because you earned it, but more often than not, even if you gave it your best, it either has the worst outcome, kaya nawawalan tayo ng gana at times. Sometimes it's not you, it's the prof. Not in a bad way. Pero may ibang prof lang talaga na mataas ang expectations nila sa kanilang students. Last na to. One thing you should always bear in mind na iba-iba tayo ng mold. Iba-iba tayo ng talents and skills. Baka kaya mataas grades nila dahil academically inclined sila and you are not being tested on your playground. May mga strength ka na wala sa kanila and vice versa. Hindi lahat ng nasa klase mo ay fish, elephant, or monkey, kaya kapag pinaglangoy kayo, si fish ang nangunguna. You get the gist. Advice ko lang, you do you and hone that. Never get jealous and be kind always. Wow, I like the animal part.
It puts it into perspective, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Thank you so
different.
much po for the words of wisdom, ate, kuya.
So, in order to wrap this episode up nicely, let's just go down and remember the many things we talked about in this episode. First of all, self-worth. Make sure you have that under control and that you don't equate it too much or too little with your academic performance. You should always try and put it into perspective and how better you can improve. And then again, with the pursuit to try and achieve more, you have to make sure that your mindset is in check. If you want to achieve, make sure that you keep track of what you're doing and that you stay humble and that you know when you've done mistakes and when to grow. As an individual, that's very important. And also, let's never forget,
Manage your time wisely.
we hope that you got something useful from listening and good luck with future academic adventures.
Lastly, thank you to the Student Council of the College and Arts and Sciences.
For being our media partners.
Yes, thank you po.
Special thanks as well to the people that were here with us during the time of recording. Special thanks to our producer, Shania Paredes.
And also to our co-host, Pasky, who's giving us the side-eye judgmental look.
Judging us very silently.
Yes.
And making sure we never do that many mistakes. And everyone that is going to support our podcast in the future. We thank you and we hope you keep listening.
Bye!